We are back at it with some more MX Sim, and we are currently on the 2023 Pebble Ridge MX. It was created by Garrett. This track is a full sand track, and it is freaking awesome as I go over the bars. That wasn't awesome. If you guys know me, I'm a sucker for sand tracks, so I'm going to enjoy this track probably no matter what. But yeah, I think it's a pretty sick track in my opinion. I think it's really, really cool. The layout of it, the obstacles that he includes, I think just in all, I think it's a great track. So I actually determined something about my reach shade that I think will be handy for anybody else. Possibly. I really don't know if you guys use reach shade like I do per se, but I have my own like set of reshade, which is in the Discord, and it's under like Smellwood reshade too. I'll drop the link. It's also on a Mediafire link, so I'll drop the link in the description. But I determined that you can use anti-aliasing on reshade, which I had no idea that was possible until the other night when my friend said, oh yeah, maybe there's anti-aliasing with reshade. Most of you guys probably won't have an issue with like the anti-aliasing or even caring about the like the edges around the guy and stuff. That's one thing for me. Like, I'm very, very picky because I want like everything to like look perfect. Now I know the game is old and stuff like that, but reshade helps with this. So I determined that if you use immerse anti-aliasing right here, you can kind of see, if I like zoom in, you see these edges on my, whoops, wait, zoomed in way too much. You see how these like edges are like very noticeable. And if you click on immerse, it disappears. So I'm hoping that actually helps out anybody, honestly. I think it's going to be very, very helpful in taking thumbnails, photos, and everything like that. Could help for anybody taking screenshots for the game. I don't know if you guys have like an actual setting like you guys use. I just clicked it on. I didn't do anything else. I just literally clicked it on, and it works pretty good. There's other ones that you can use. It kind of changes like the color scheme though. That's why I didn't really like it as much, but it kind of does the same thing. It kind of just mellows it out. You can kind of really see because this is like really, really sharp, and then like normal filter kind of like dulls it. I like immerse because it kind of still gives you that sharpness, but also clears up the edges. That's what I think it is. Anyways, that's just a little tidbit that I found. Actually today when I'm recording this, I kind of found that. So if it helps for you guys, I hope it does. I'll have my reshade in the description, but let's get back to this. I want to say thank you guys so much for the love on the TikTok video that we posted yesterday. You guys did absolutely insane. That, like the lap around, holy smokes, that video did insane. So thank you guys so much for that. And thank you guys so much for the love and the comments and the feedback on today's video, which I'm recording, Friday's video on TikTok regarding like how to get inside the ruts and stuff. That is very, very helpful. I'm going to try to focus on trying to do everything that you guys said. Just know it's going to take a little bit of time, so don't judge on this video because it's not going to be perfected. But just know that I'm going to try to work on that. I think it will help in the long run, like I said. So thank you guys so much for that. Switching gears a little bit, we had quali for F1 today for the Sunday's race. So I'm kind of excited about that. Max is taking a 5 grid penalty, a 5 place grid penalty because of a gearbox. So that's going to be interesting to see how long we can keep Max Verstappen out of the lead. I think it's going to last maybe 1 lap, possibly 2. Then I think we see Max possibly already in first. No, I think it would be maybe first pit stop. He'll probably halfway through the race. Oh God. That's not a good spot to be in right there. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go back over there. In all honesty, I think Max will probably get into the lead pretty quick. Let's be real. He has like the fastest car. Even in quali, he set a time that was like insane. He was like 1 second faster than everybody. It was kind of nuts. Oh, got him over the bars. But it was kind of nuts. But with the 5 place grid penalty, he goes back down to 6, right? So he goes down to 6. Leclerc's in first. I got the lineup right here. Leclerc's in first, Perez. Then you got Lewis. And then you got Carlos Sainz, Piastri, Verstappen, and then Norris. Piastri actually out-qualified Norris, which is kind of insane. And then Russell, Alonso, and Stroll. I know that the weather for Spa is going to be very, very tricky. It's going to be a rainy day. So I'm hoping that they use caution. And I hope they like... what's the right term? I hope they don't do anything stupid. And I hope they look out for the drivers because I know that racetrack in particular when it's raining is very, very bad. There's been multiple deaths there. So I'm hoping they just use caution when they like actually do the racing and everything like that. But if the race doesn't have any rain, I think it's going to be a great race. I really do. There's also a sprint a sprint race going on Saturday, which I'm super excited about. When you guys actually see this video, the race will be over, so I'll be talking about that in the next video. I don't know. I think the quali for that is 3 a.m. tonight, dude. And let's be real, I'm not waking up for that. I'm not even staying up for that. That's way too freaking early, especially if I want to wake up and watch a sprint race, which happens at 7:30 my time. So, I mean, I got to pick or choose, you know. I'll probably just wake up early and watch the replay of the quali, and then that way I know what's going on. But there's no way I'm waking up at 3 a.m. There's just no way I'm doing that, or even staying up. I made a poll on YouTube asking who's going to get second place. That actually did really, really well, so I'm happy that you guys participated in that. I enjoy F1 right now. A lot of people were like, Norris. Yeah, I definitely forgot to put him in the list. Yeah, that's my bad, because I went to f1.com, F1 like the website or whatever, and I honestly just did like the points. I just wrote down the top 5 in points, and I didn't include obviously Max because I said who's going to get second place. But yeah, that's why I didn't include Norris. Next time I'll definitely include Norris, just because he's been on a roll. So is Piastri. They've both been on like a crazy roll. But for real, I appreciate you guys like actually participating in that. That's actually awesome. And I made some polls on some music too today, which you guys participated in as well. Thank you. And that's actually pretty sick, because I love music. I love F1, and having the ability to make polls like that, I think is pretty sick. That kind of leads me into my next topic. So I made a poll regarding Travis Scott's album. And if you guys know me, I like to listen to rap. So I listened to the whole thing multiple different times, and I came to an opinion that I give it a 6 out of 10. I possibly would give it a 7 out of 10 with the production, because I think Travis does some crazy, insane productions. But I would say it's a 6 out of 10. I have my favorite songs. I have my least favorite songs. My main thing with the album, I feel like Travis is catering to the features too much. It's not more of like a Travis album. Like, I feel like the beginning part is, but then like the second half of the album, I feel he's just catering to the features and picking a style that goes well with them, if that kind of makes sense. I don't know any other way to explain it besides that. All the features I feel like are better than what Travis is actually doing on the song. So it kind of feels like a artist slash producer DJ like album, if that makes any sense. You know what's crazy is I actually made a list of my thoughts for every single song, and that's how I came to the conclusion of a 6. My score actually came out to a 5.94 for the average. So I just rounded it up to a 6. A lot of people are comparing it to like an Yeezus. If you guys ever listen to Kanye West's Yeezus album, that's what they're kind of comparing it to. It definitely feels like a Yeezus 2.0 in my book. Definitely more of the songs feel that way, at least. I feel like it has its own little like style for Yeezus, or compared to Yeezus, but I feel like that was definitely influential, which doesn't make it bad or anything to that nature. But that was back in 2014 that album dropped, and having it 10 years later, I don't know how well it's gonna hold up in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody goes back and listens to Yeezus now, you know. That's the only thing I would say. So the first 2 songs on the album I think were fantastic. Those are the first 2 songs, Hyena and Thank God. And then like Modern Jam, I wasn't a big fan of. I really think My Eyes is a really good song. I think that might be my favorite song on the album. R.I.P. But I think that might be my favorite song on the album. And then it kind of like dwindles down a little bit. You know, God's Country is not that great in my opinion. It feels like another Yeezus song. Sirens is also pretty good, but it's not like great. Meltdown with Drake. I'm not a big fan of Drake's verse in that. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys are, but I'm not a big fan of that. Fiend. I wasn't a big fan of Fiend. I gave that a 3 out of 10. D'Lestro, I think that's how you pronounce that, with Beyonce. Beyonce's feature actually surprised me when I first listened to it, because I didn't know she was going to be in it. So, I mean, Beyonce killed it. That goes into play what I said earlier, that I feel like that song is more catered to a Beyonce track than it is a Travis Scott track. That's why I kind of don't understand like why it's done like that. If it's like a Travis Scott album, it should be more catered to Travis Scott, where Beyonce is just like a feature. But it feels like Beyonce is the main artist and Travis is the feature, if that makes any sense. But the song's great. I mean, it's not anything crazy, but it's still pretty good. I gave that an 8 out of 10, honestly. I Know, pretty solid. Gave that a 7. And Topa Twins, 6. Circus Maximus, 6. Parasail, which I think is more like I think that's the one that's like an interlude. Let me I pulled my notes right here so I can look at it. Yeah, it's more like an interlude. Schizo, all right. Lost Forever with Westside Gunna, if you guys know who that is. I think Westside, I think the features on that actually were better than Travis. I think the worst song on the album might be K-Pop. The Weeknd's feature kind of saves it, but K-Pop might be the worst one. For me personally, I think the second best song is probably Telekinesis. I think that one is really, really solid. Future did his thing on that. SZA is on that track as well. I think it's a really good song. But then that plays in the factor Travis was more like a feature on that. I feel like Future had 2 verses, SZA had 1 verse. Like, I don't know. Just goes back to my point where I think Travis is more of like a producer in the second half of his album than he actually is an artist. And then you got Till Further Notice, which is also a pretty solid track with more features. Overall, I think it's a great album. People are saying that's going to be like the album of the year. I don't know if it's going to be the album of the year. I really don't. But overall, I think it's a solid album. I'm really interested to hear Post Malone's new album. I listened to a couple songs and off the bat, it felt pretty good. It didn't feel like it felt like a Post Malone album, but it also like felt like something different. So I'm excited to listen to it fully, kind of get my notes, kind of similar to Travis Scott's album. And if you guys enjoy this like little tidbit on the video and stuff like that, I could do more with other artists. If you guys have some artists that you guys want me to do, like some new albums that get released or anything like that, it's just one of my things. I like listening to music, so might as well give you guys my thoughts on it, especially with Travis. I mean, I've been listening to Travis since Rodeo, even before that, days before Rodeo, you know, like a long time ago. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you guys check out this track. The link will be down in the description below. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on it. Let me know what you guys think about the new Travis Scott album as well as the Post Malone album in the comments below. Let me know who's winning F1 as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'm out. Peace.